Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So today we're going to discuss that our HTML is completed. Now we can go to the next language called CSS. I think you all will learn this second language properly to design a website. Now if we go for talk about this language briefly, so this is a styling language. CSS is a styling language. It means using this, we will design the elements of HTML. Now, if we talk about the elements, so what is elements? So those are the tag of HTML. Elements are the tag of HTML. Like H1 is an element. Also, P tag is an element. It means that which tag can display something at the browser. Those are called elements. This means not that which tag can display anything at browser not called element. There are some tags in HTML which can't show or display anything at browser, but those are element. But now we aren't going to specify those elements, so without any more talking, let's get started. So came after intro. Now I'm gonna say that this video has two parts. Each parts of this video are so important, so you should not skip any part of this video. So starting the first part about introduction to CSS. So CSS is a styling language and it can style any element of HTML specifically. Like you are gonna style one H1. Suppose you are gonna add a background color for the H1 and you are gonna change the text color of the H1. So these are not possible using HTML. That's why we shall use CSS to style this. Now, if we talk that what's about CSS stands, so CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Also, we can write the codes in three ways. The first way to write CSS is inline. To use this, we have to add a attribute in the opening tag. Like I'm going to show you. Like I'm going to design H2. This is heading 2. And to design this inlinely, so we have to use attribute next to the tag name of opening. So the attribute name is style. So in this style attribute, we can write the CSS codes which we want to design. I'm going to close this. And the second way to write the CSS is internal. There is a separate HTML tag for this. The tag name is HTML. Like I'm going to show you this. We need to write this tag before closing the head tag. So there is the, I'm going to remove this. So here is the place which is before closing the head tag. Here we need to write the style tag which is separately for styling in HTML. And the last and the best way to write CSS is external. So to use this, we have to do we need to go to our file location, and in this file location we need to create a css file like html file. So the file extension of css file will be .css. So we shall use the best name for our html file and css file. Since we have used a best name for our html file called index, so we shall also use the best name for our css file called style. So create a style file, get text document. We can also create a file here. Also you can minimize this and create a file here. So we shall create file from here, new file, and style.css. And if we check that our file is here, so now if we want to design something, so we have to link this css file with this index.html file, so that we can, whatever we can design in the html css file, that will display as html output. So to add this, right link and in the third section you can see link clone css, press tab and you will get your code. And here is also the link which is automatically styled. If we change, if you use a different name for you, so you can rename it. Now the second part of this video is css syntax. This is the most important part of this video. Here we will discuss the structure of css. That's very easy. If we practice this structure, so we shall be able to remember this structure. So how to write this? So first we need to write the name of selector. Like I'm going to show you the syntax. Here is the selector. This is the selector, and then we need to use the second bracket. As if you use VS Code Sublime Text without using the local editor, code editor, so pressing one bracket from keyboard, you will get both brackets. Then press enter. I have already pressed enter. Now we need to add the property. So this is a property, and after writing property, write clone, and here we need to use the value of the property. So this is the value of the property and this semicolon. This is the syntax of css. And now we shall design one h1 specifically. We shall change the background color of h1 and we shall change the color of the h1. So how to do it? Now, if we talk about this selector property and values, so suppose we are gonna style a p tag. So the selector is the name of the tag which we are going to design. So here is our p. So this is the selector called p. So write the p. I'm going to write p and press the second bracket. So here you can see some error because I'm not written p. So write p and like I'm going to write this is paragraph and come to style.css file, and here the bracket is automatically we need to give, and using bracket, in this bracket we shall write the designable codes. So now what's the property? Property is like we're gonna change the color of p tag. So the color is the property. So the color is the property. This is the property. This is the property, and the value is which color I'm gonna choose. That's the value. Like I'm gonna choose green. Like I'm gonna choose green. This is the value of the property. So like I'm gonna, if you refresh, so you can see this is paragraph and this text color is green. Now here is good to say that if you have a class of your HTML element, like I have a class of this p tag class p, the class name also p, and how to access this in CSS file. So to access that with class in CSS, you have to write the class name within a dot. So write the class name within a dot. The class name is p. I'm going to write this within a dot. Use second bracket, and now we have to write the designable code, so it's property and the value. If we now change green, and if we refresh this, so you can see it's still showing the better what we want to show, that's showing here. So now we have to talk about that how to access id into css. So delete this. I'm going to also delete this class name, and now talk about that. And if you use IDs, so to access that in CSS, you have to write that within a hash. So to access the ID, we have to write that within a hash. Suppose I'm going to use the ID of this P element. ID name is also the P. And how to access this? To access this, you need to use hash and then P. And use second bracket. Then the designable codes, like I'm going to change the color green. This is the color. If we refresh, so it's still showing how we want. And now I'm gonna change the background color of this manually. So don't you? I'm not gonna use the class or any kind of ID. So now I'm gonna design this using background color and the text color. So background color is like black. This is the background color. If we refresh this, so the background color of this p element is black. And if we now change the color of this, color is white. And if we refresh, so the color of this is white, and now it's visible. So like this we can design anything in CSS of HTML element. So good to go. This video is from here. I'm feeling pain in my mouth because I've said a lot of space in this video. So see you all in the next video. Love is